I think a lot of you might have already have guessed that this was going to be my next video. We need to talk about the Creepshow art situation. What's crack, it's VangelinaSkov, and this is actually my second time filming the intro to this video because I didn't realize when I started that the window was open until I heard a car beeping, and then it made sense why it was so loud in here. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about Creepshow art, who you may or may not have heard has been exposed for some pretty shady behavior. Now let's just say right now, this is all alleged. None of this is technically proven, but I just gotta say that right now as a disclaimer, all alleged. But despite it being alleged, there is in fact a lot of evidence to point to all of what's come out recently being true. So what's actually happened? Let's get into that. We're going to talk about in a short, concise way what's actually going on, what Creepshow art or Shannon has been exposed for, what's been said, what's not been said, and what Shannon herself has said about the situation, as well as her apparently quitting because of all of this. Before we do get into that though, please subscribe and click the bell button to get notifications when I upload. I really appreciate if you do that. And if you want to, you can also check out the Patreon or the memberships with the links in the description. You can get extra benefits like access to the podcast, extra posts. Admittedly, I wasn't posting for a week or two there. I'm not really good with concepts of time, but I didn't post for a little bit, and I did warn people that I wasn't going to be posting because I had some personal issues. I had some family issues, which I talked about on there as well. But I'm going to be putting up some bonus content soon just to say thank you for being patient with me while I wasn't posting, so you can check that out there if you want to. Enough plugging of me, let's talk about the actual situation. Now, Creepshow art is someone who I feel like has grown quite rapidly. She's a commentary channel or a drama channel, whichever way you want to see it, but a drama/commentary channel who has gained a lot of popularity recently and had recently even reached 500,000 subscribers. However, that number has now gone down and is now, as I'm recording this, at 498,000. And this obviously started when the expose happened. And as well as that, I want to mention as well, some of you may have seen me tweet out this. I have briefly spoken to Shannon in the past, not a lot, not even a full conversation at any point. And I won't get into what happened there because it's not relevant, and it could easily have been a situation that was just me taking it the wrong way. I tend to do that. I don't have very good social skills and I'm very sensitive. So I'm not really gonna go into that, but there was a weird situation that happened between us which just left a bad taste in my mouth. So maybe in a little way I'm biased here, but again, I do acknowledge that that whole thing could have just been me taking things the wrong way. So let's move on from that. I just wanted to say that in case anybody was thinking that I meant that I knew something personally about the situation that's going on now, which I do not. I just know as much as the internet knows, which is that Shannon or Creepshow art has been posting on a site called lolcow since 2018. Now, if you don't know what lolcow is, it's a site which is, it's basically like a gossip site, kind of Kiwi Farms-esque, which I think more of my audience will know Kiwi Farms. People talk shit on there. They say a lot of stuff that you wouldn't really say out in the world. And Creepshow art is a prime example of that, if all of this is true, because a lot of the stuff that she has been saying on there is really not what she says in public. It is really not what she says on her YouTube channel, and is in some cases the complete opposite of what she claims to believe and the message she claims to be trying to send. Now, I won't read any of the more controversial posts because I don't want anybody getting upset over them, but there were a lot of things that were transphobic, racist, even fatphobic comments, and just generally being quite nasty. If you want to read the post for yourself, I'll leave a link in the description for you to see those. Just an example, skip ahead a few seconds if you don't want to see these. Here's an example of some of the transphobic things that she said on that site, allegedly. But these posts weren't just her throwing random insults at people. She even posted really mean stuff about people that she was publicly friends with, or at least publicly friendly with, like Ready to Glare and D'Angelo Wallace. As one example, D'Angelo is the guy that everyone pretends to like, but no one really does. She even made a post about Cringy, who is actually a friend of mine. Cringy did a live stream thanking Shannon and has made content defending her from criticism from Toby before. I don't think Shannon is simping. She's clearly using this girl for content and trying to look like the nice big channel helping the smaller channel out. these are weird posts. These are very weird posts. Now, you might be asking yourself, well, why is Creepshow Art talking about herself in these posts? Well, this is where a lot of the issues started for the mods and for her getting exposed, was that Creepshow Art would allegedly post a lot about herself as a third person. So, not as her. Either defending herself or attacking herself, or sometimes being on both sides of the argument. And I believe she even attacked herself for being too much of an SJW. So I don't know if that's like trying to advertise your own channel to SJWs or trying to get anti-SJW people to watch your videos and hate on you so you get views. I don't understand. This is very bizarre. But what happened basically was that the mods got fed up with her posting all this stuff about herself, even sometimes posting stuff about her own Patreon or memberships. For example, there's one post here where she's saying that, oh, Creepshow Art just uploaded a members only video about, oh god, what's her name? I've lost the post. Lily Jean, that's the one. So now you may be asking yourself, well, how did the mods know that it was her? Well, because IP addresses are a thing, and all of the IP addresses since 2018 have been connected to her, even when she moved. And apparently the moderators had known for a long time that this was her, but they only decided to speak out about it now because they got fed up with her behavior and her self-promotion and her arguing with and about herself. As you would, it's very odd. It's a very weird way to try and garner some hype about yourself, I think. Now, despite all of this, Creepshow Art does deny that these posts are made by her. I'm not going to read you the whole post because it's very lengthy, like it goes on for a while, so it's on our community tab if you want to read it. But basically what she's saying is that these posts were made by her stalker, whose name is Amy. This is a person she's talked about before. And she was basically saying that for these 2 or 3 years, however long it's been, that Amy has been spoofing her IP address and pretending to be her, which a lot of people have an issue with this. I have found it very hard to find anybody who believes this story, mainly because it's not easy to spoof someone's IP address, and also you'd have to find their IP address in the first place. So this is like some Gone Girl level shit that she's saying is happening, which it's not impossible. It's not impossible that this happened, that her stalker really did pretend to be her for 2 years while pretending not to be her. Let me rephrase this. It is possible that this Amy person pretended to be Shannon pretending to not be Shannon for 2 or 3 years. But it is highly unlikely, and it would be very difficult and near impossible to pull off, but not impossible. Now, some people say that there is no Amy, that there is no stalker. Other people say that there is a stalker, but this is not what she's doing. This is not due to the stalker. And I watched Dustin Daly's video that he did with Nick Snyder on this, and he said something along the lines of, wouldn't she be shocked in this situation? How would she immediately figure out, referring to Shannon, that this was Amy? Now, you could agree with that or not, and people respond to shocking situations differently. Some go straight on trying to figure out what happened, others are just like, what the hell? But it does seem very strange that she immediately said, yes, this is Amy, this is my stalker. Again, I personally am not saying that there is no stalker, I'm just saying it's very unlikely that in this particular situation, that it wasn't Shannon herself. If you want, I will do a fuller video going into more of the posts, going into more stuff about IP addresses and things like that. I don't know if that's something that people want to listen to in this video. I don't know if that's just insanely boring and you'd rather just take my word for it that it's very difficult and near impossible to do this. To get and spoof someone's IP address in all of these situations and continue doing that and posting for years in the hopes that she would get called out for it, perhaps. So if you want a fuller video, a fuller, better explanation of that, I will do it. Just let me know in the comments. But if nobody wants that, and if that's just like too boring, I won't bother. And again, if you want a fuller video going into more of the posts, I can also do that too. Because for now, it seems like a lot to go into to say, oh, she said this and this and this. But there are a lot of slurs, a lot of transphobic slurs, a lot of ableist language, a lot of fat shaming and body shaming, and just the whole arguing with yourself and arguing for and against yourself is just bizarre. Like, it's very, very strange. Now, I will say as well, there is a person on Twitter, and this, I guess, mega thread, is that what it's called? I feel old. Mega thread has been going around a lot. So I'll link that in the description as well. This person put together just a lot of the main points of what's been going on. So if you want to read through that, you can as well. Good job to the person who made that thread as well. Like that's a lot of effort to go to for Twitter. What I just personally find the most nasty about all of this is the fact that she was allegedly posting about her own friends, like saying really horrible things about her own friends. So were those relationships just to save face? Not to save face, but like to get some kind of attention because they all had more subscribers than you? What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying. I was saying a sentence and I forgot. I'm pretty sure I was in the middle of a sentence, but I forgot what I was saying. So if I remember what I was saying while editing this, I'll put text here. My brain just shut down for like 20 seconds there, sorry. But finally, the last thing we're going to talk about is the fact that Creepshow art is apparently quitting because of all of this, or at least taking a hiatus. She posted this on Instagram, not her community tab and not in a video, but she said, "When I say I'm handling this legally, I mean I'm handling this legally." Again, referring to the fact that she is claiming she didn't make these posts, that this was Amy. "I'm most likely not going to post until I can prove without a shadow of a doubt that what occurred was not my doing. So I guess this is goodbye until then. For those asking if I'm okay, no, I'm not. Everyone close to me is now confused as to what my moral character is. I've seen posts from people I've supported in dark times saying I always knew something was wrong with her, and I'm realizing more and more a lot of what I thought were friendships were not. This fundamentally changes you, and I'm going to deal with this by myself. See you soon." And people have a huge issue with this because in her community post as well, she said, "I'm not going to be answering any questions about this," and now on Instagram says that she's leaving until she can prove that this wasn't her. Professional YouTuber here. My camera died in the middle of my sentence and now my neighbors are playing loud music, so I'm going to make the ending of this video as quick as possible. So basically, people are wondering if Shannon is just quitting to avoid taking any responsibility, despite the fact that she is always preaching that people need to be held accountable for things. Although she didn't feel that way about Gabby Hanna when she was calling Hello Leash garbage, I believe, because Shannon was friends with Gabby, allegedly, or something, and never called her out for any of her awful behavior. So I guess Creepshow Art's motto is actually to hold people accountable when she feels it's right. Another thing which I kind of want to point out is the everyone close to me is now confused as to what my moral character is. And also, I'm realizing more and more a lot of what I thought were friendships were not. Okay, so explain things. Make a video or something, contact these people personally. If you really didn't post these yourself, then contact all these people personally and explain the situation. And explain your moral character, or your moral standing, or your morals. I don't know what else to tell you besides that. That's gonna be it. Anyway, again, if you want more of a deep dive into the posts themselves, or into me explaining how the IP thing works, or even talking about the Hello Leash situation, although Hello Leash did actually talk about that herself on her channel, then let me know and I will do that. Otherwise, I won't bore you with the gory details, and you can see as much of them or as little of them as you'd like. That's going to be it from me for now, because as I said, neighbors decided that Monday evening is the best time to be loud. I don't know why. You do you, I guess. So like I said at the start of the video, please subscribe. Really appreciate it if you do that. And while you're down there, please click that little bell button to turn on notifications, all notifications when I upload. Check out Patreon memberships, and you can also follow me on social media. Like, comment, share, and do all the things that I'm supposed to ask you to do at the end of the video, and have a wonderful day. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!